You love by the Fergie, you die by the Ole. Hey yo, welcome back to the Jimi Priceless Show, the weekly YouTube show hosted by your boy Jimi Priceless. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. Shout out to everyone that watched the previous episode. I hope you guys got some good tips and suggestions there, on your next possible read. But for this week, I want to take another change of pace, from like the nerdy reading book shit onto the other end of the spectrum, which is, football. More specifically, what's happening with my team, Man United. So, there's some background info. I'm not no expert. Like my journey as a United fan. Basically, just growing up in the house, there would always be United games on because all families United fans. So, obviously I wasn't just going to be a fan of some other shit, because I wasn't a sporting person in general. So, I was like, yeah, I'm United, yeah, let's go with them. So, I would say in the mid 2000s, that's when I first started the remembering names and following in the news what's happening with the league and all these cup competitions and shit like that. Then only I would say the early 2010s, that's when I started watching every game, being really invested and clued up and transfers. That's I would say by the mid 2010s, that's when I was fully invested into Man United as a team and as the football side and the business side and who owns it and the transfers and the revenues and sponsors and who's who and whatever. So yeah, I'm not I'm not just gonna watch random soccer games, if it's not a United game or a cup final or a cup semi-final, if it's not Man United, it better be a high stakes game if I'm gonna watch it. So, that is some background knowledge. I'm not no expert. I'm just going off what I see. So, I was gonna make this video last week, but I knew that the Liverpool game was gonna be now Sunday. So I was nah, let me wait till after that just to be, feel fully vindicated with my takes. So you know what I mean? Officially, the Jimi Priceless Show, we all are out on the side. It took a while, just because, I'm not going to lie, I'm a sucker for these fairy tale moments where it's we scored the goal that got us the Champions League and take us back to glory. I fully bought into that whole story. But no, I'm not bought in anymore. I want my refund. I think even out of the managers we've had post Ferguson, just as a personality, I definitely not my favorite. I like more like a Mourinho or a Van Gaal who's gonna say some crazy shit, or do some crazy shit on the sidelines. It's just from an entertainment perspective. I like the two of them more. As far as the football, under Ole, I will say that he is, as far as I've seen, the best temporary manager United has had. That initial run he did for that 6 months, before he got the permanent contract, that was, I think if he ended up not getting the permanent position, then, he would still have legacy and that folklore around him, look what he was able to do. But, they decided to give him that contract. And of course, I was excited. And, things didn't have that same impact, things didn't go as great as it did during these temporary managerial position at the club. But, gotta give him time. Things take time. But, with things taking time, and giving someone time to show how good they can be, but also on the other end, gives them enough time to expose how bad they could be. And I think we kind of seeing that, or we now finally realize that, if you look at the time, if you look at the statistics, it might not be the worst maybe in terms of like a win percentage and things like that. I'm not sure. But like, at the end of the day, it's like Man United, we can't deal with someone that's, well, at least it's not the worst. We got to deal with like the best of the best. We've been, I would say, in the regrowing, or what do you call it? The rebirth stages post Ferguson for long enough, especially when you've had the transfers we've had, the money we spent, and the squad we currently have, and of course, the McFred situation, like I knew it's not going to work out. Like I said early in the year, if I were to sign a Portuguese player, it wouldn't be Ronaldo, it would have been Ruben Neves. But even without Ruben Neves, we're still supposed to be doing way better than we are doing. And of course, everyone says, it's only because it's United and everything is like under magnifying glass. And, if it's like a win, it's like the best thing ever. And if it's a loss, it's like the disaster and people must, just going crazy. But I mean, that comes with the territory, That doesn't mean that the team wasn't terrible, Like if you look at the comeback we had in the week in Champions League, that was a terrible game for us. We happened to win it, but I think the standard has gotten lowered so much, and it's kind of like a cop-out when it's like, but now it's like it's United and it's, they gotta give all the time, I really feel by now it is officially like the worst cop-out ever. Like it's been man's head time, is what I'm saying. So, for me, let him go. Of course, his legacy is kind of tarnished, Even as a manager, he hasn't been that great outside of managing Molde, which I'm not sure how good he was at Molde anyway, but I know he was employed there, so he had to be decent. But yeah, it's time for change. There's options, we got Zidane, we got Conte. Those are like the two names that are being mentioned the most, I see. Who would I prefer? I would like Zidane. Just because, being at Madrid, he's managed like stars. And, I mean, Conte has too. But I feel like Madrid players, just because of the legacy of the club and the stature they have in the, like not just Spanish football, but world football, those players have a certain ego, and also because they were successful. But with United's players, like they might not have that success, but they know they are like some of the highest paid players in the league. They're one of the biggest clubs in world football still. So to me, I feel Zidane will just have that extra edge to, manage those egos and get the most out of those players, in terms of their mentality, and him being one of the greatest footballers himself, so it's like he knows what he's talking about. So personally, I would like Zidane to get the gig. Conte, I wouldn't be mad at all even, but just from that kind of man management perspective, I would prefer, Zinedine over Conte. But, it is what it is. We out here taking losses. And I guess, it's we needed that drastic loss. Because like I said with United, everything's like super times 1,000. So we can lose a game against like an easy team, and then we can win a game against an easy team, but then we'll be so hyped about that we'll be like, oh shit, here we go. But with a big loss like this, especially against Liverpool at home, Salah, first player to score a hat-trick at Old Trafford for an opposing team in the Premier League. First player to do it since Ronaldo did it in the Champions League. So, I think we needed this. Like, it's a big loss. There's no way back, there's not like Normally, when United loses against a team that they should beat, it's like, oh no, but yeah, it's just this needs to change or that needs to change. But with this loss, it was like, fuck it, we don't know no more. But yeah, that's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think for all the Man United fans out there. For all the other fans out there, y'all probably going through. But do y'all things, like I said, if we love by the sword, die by the sword, love by the Fergie, die by the Allah, if you out there gassing up United when they're winning, then we gotta, handle it when we be trolled, when we lost. So y'all do your thing. Be sure to subscribe. And I'll be back for the next episode. So next week. So let me know what you want to hear. And thank you so much for watching. I'm out.